Joining us now, Republican Senator of North Dakota, John Hoeven. So it's good to see you. And, you know, obviously the president is very frustrated. The members of your conference very frustrated. The legislation stalled right now on in your chamber. It passed the House. Republicans have the majority, obviously, in the Senate. But take us into the nuance of the Senate rules and why this hasn't been voted on, because a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah. Well, we are in session. We're in session this week, and we're working on it. Matter of fact, I'm a co-sponsor of the Save America Act, and we're trying to pass it through a process called budget reconciliation. So the House sent a budget reconciliation resolution over to us, and the key is that we get that passed. We can do that with 51 votes, which is why we're working so hard to do it. It has three things in it. First, the Save America, a requirement that you have to have photo ID whether you vote in person or by mail. Also, some funding for our military and help for our farmers. And we can pass that with 51 votes. So the key is to get to 51 votes. And I'm working very hard to do that. Obviously, the Dems are trying to block us and push and get it voted on next week. So that's what we're working on very aggressively to do it. Along with other things, we also have to fund the government. We've got a continuing resolution teed up. We're working on the sanctions bill. And we actually, en bloc, intend to pass 74 nominees. So we got work to do, but we're in session, and I'm very hopeful we do it.
But there are two big obstacles that have been in play here, right? You got the filibuster, which requires 60 votes to stop debate, right? And then, of course, you have the parliamentarian who was appointed in the past by, Harry Reid. She worked for Al Gore in the recount back in 2001. She is still there, and she is the referee on what is allowed in legislation, what is not. That's the 60 votes versus the reconciliation. She says not reconciliation. So how do you get over this?
Yeah, that right on. That's exactly what we're doing, is why we're working over this weekend to figure out how, and remember, you have different committees of jurisdiction, but how we can bring that forward through reconciliation so it does pass at 51 votes. At the 51 vote, it's actually 50, and then the vice president could break the tie. But that is the key. That is exactly what we're working on in order to get, to the 51 vote threshold so we can pass it. Now, there's one more step. Then it goes back to the House, okay? Mm-hmm. And they actually move the bill and send the bill back to us, and we would pass it. So that's the process, and that's what we're working on to get it done.
So why is Elizabeth McDonough, the parliamentarian who serves at the pleasure of the Senate Majority Leader, why is she still there? I think that's a question that's a little head scratcher. Like, well, when our team gets in, why don't we just put our team in?
Right. She's been there through both Republican and Democrat administrations. But remember, the key here is that we are putting it together in a way where with 51 votes, we can do it so that it would not be subject to a rule or to being stopped by the parliamentarian. That's the whole point.
So let me ask you, how concerned are you heading into the midterms? Obviously, the president's approval ratings aren't where he wants them or anyone wants them on the Republican side. Voters concerned about the economy, which, is to some extent is affected by the war with Iran, which isn't popular either. But we're kind of running out of time, 90 plus days. How concerned are you?
I think we got to focus all the things we have done. Now, as you said, the war is a real issue, but I think the president is really putting the hammer down. We're working to get our allies, both in the Middle East and in NATO, to help us. Obviously, that is not only about ending an existential threat, vitally important, but long-term, we will have lower energy prices with more stability in the Middle East. And we have to get that message out, combined with all the things that we've done, like reducing the tax burden, reducing the regulatory burden, and all the other things in the one big, beautiful bill, and securing the border. Look what just happened in Morocco and Spain. Think about that. And voters will be thinking about that when they go to the polls. And we're the party, President Trump is the one who has secured the border and law and order in our country.
100% correct. Senator, there's only 4 states I haven't been to in this country: Hawaii, Oregon, South Dakota, and North Dakota. I got to get there.
You got to come. Consider yourself invited. We'll show you a great time.
I'm sure you will. Thank you so much for being with us on this Saturday.
Thanks, Rob.